Now, when one mentions club football, Real Madrid, Barcelona, AC Milan, Manchester United, Liverpool, now these are some of the names that immediately come to mind. So when one mentions international football, the first word or the first country that crops up, of course, is Brazil. And why not? It's been the most successful team in the history of the game. A team that had a superstar in every era. If it was Pele ruling the world in the 50s and the 60s, it was Ronaldo in the 90s and 2000s, and it didn't just stop there. The yellow jersey was graced by players like Ronaldinho, Kaká, Cafu, Roberto Carlos. The current lot that has stars like Neymar and Vinicius Jr., names that I just took, aren't simply a reflection of Brazil's domination in football, but also a glimpse of what Brazil in football means. A team that has won 5 World Cups, 9 Copa America titles and 9 Olympic medals that includes 2 golds, 5 silvers and 2 bronze medals. Just like how you cannot imagine life without oxygen, the sporting world cannot imagine football without Brazil in it. And that's why when we talk of crisis in a country's sporting system, we can't think of Brazil immediately. Yet here we are. Brazilian football is in crisis mode and has been for some time now. One of the most iconic and celebrated national teams has hit roadblocks in the past 1 year. And the slide is being felt on and off the pitch. The latest, of course, is their failure to qualify for the Paris Olympics. Brazil, who won gold in Tokyo and Rio de Janeiro, won't feature in 2024 Olympics, where they were hoping for a rare treble. Brazil were beaten 1-0 by Argentina in the decisive South American Olympic qualifier. That ended the hopes of a 17-year-old striker, Endrick, playing alongside 32-year-old Neymar for the Olympics. That would have been quite a sight. Football in Olympics doesn't carry the same prestige as that of World Cup or Copa America. But a failure to qualify is still a setback for a country with such a craze, and more so because of what's preceded this moment. There have been own goals by the administration, particularly. The president of CBF, Brazil's National Football Federation, Ednaldo Rodrigues. He kept pushing for Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti for the Brazil role. He even made an official announcement declaring this, despite receiving no confirmation from the man in question, Ancelotti himself. This ruckus went on in the aftermath of the 2022 World Cup crashout. The coach back then, Tite, stepped down after Brazil's shocking exit. The team was led by Fernando Diniz on an interim basis, and that's when Ednaldo Rodrigues went about creating more confusion. And that was not all. Rodrigues has been at the center of much chaos in the system. Brazil faced the risk of getting suspended altogether by the governing body FIFA. That happened some months ago when Rodrigues returned to lead the organization. This despite being removed by the Rio de Janeiro Court of Justice. Now you see, Rodrigues was a stopgap arrangement even back then. He had come in after his predecessor had been ousted owing to corruption charges. So the rot really runs deep. FIFA has often been vocal about rejecting government and third-party interference in its member associations and its workings. This, of course, put a threat on Brazil of being banned from major competitions, even possibly missing out on hosting the Women's World Cup in 2027. A World Cup without Brazil fans in particular. The Samba Magic, that would be a poor sight indeed. So FIFA held its ground. The governing body told Brazil to hold fair elections, and just last month, Rodrigues returned as the president rather unanimously, and all seemed to be fine on the surface of it at least. The question though is whether Rodrigues is someone who can truly take Brazil football forward, like the people before him have. That's the reason why the country grew in stature in this particular sport, not only because of the talents that they produced, but they had the right administrators to propel them in the right path with the right system in place, so that the sport grew and Brazil's place in football always stood strong and resolute. That seems to be on shaky ground here, but like they say in sport, you can't rule out anyone who is down. So the world and Brazil fans are waiting for that comeback and some more of that Samba magic.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on First Post America.